Hello everyone, welcome to the third part of this SQL Server Global Trading Company data analysis. In this part we are doing customer segmentation and RFM analysis, and we are trying to solve these questions. Here you can see all the measures that you see here, whether it's cumulative sales percent, customer ranking, customer segmentation, last purchase date, then is sales by customer, top 20% flag that we have applied. Whatever you are seeing here, we will try to find these measures. I will also explain you what if we use a calculated column and use the same logic, how we can create these kind of charts. So everything that you see here will be solved in this part. This is part 3. All the measures that we have used in part 3 are here. All the questions that we will solve are here. So let's get started with part 3. Then we will move to part 4 in the next video. So we have just duplicated this part, and now here we are doing customer segmentation and RFM analysis. This is part 3 of 5. Details are given here. Objective is to analyze customer behavior and value. Now what is meaning of RFM over here? RFM stands for recency, frequency and monetary. It is a method for analyzing customer value. Recency, how recently a customer made a purchase. Frequency, how often they purchase. Monetary, how much money they spend. So it helps segment customers into group like VIPs, regulars or inactive buyers. So in the data set that we have, where we connected the SQL server for global trading company, we have these 8 important tables. Here we have the customer table with all the demographic info, and so we will do customer segmentation and RFM analysis here. Now the first question that we are solving here is top 20% customers contributing to sales. So hint is we have to use the rank X and cumulative percentage logic to identify top contributors. So to solve this question, first step is to make sure we have a total sales measure in our measures table. So if you remember from previous part, the previous 2 parts we have done, we have created a measures table where we have this total sales measure, which gives us information on what is the total sales value obviously, and this is from a calculated column in the order details table. So in the order details table we have the sales calculated column, and after calculating it we are adding all the values together to find the total sales. Next is we have sales by customer. So next thing we have to find out is what is the sales by customer. We have to calculate whatever is total sales, but we are using all except customers, and in customers table we are selecting the customer ID. So we will simply copy it, and in the measures table right click new measure, and here we will calculate. Now what is this all except doing? This is acting as a filter, and what we are doing, it returns all the rows in a table except for those rows that are affected by specific or specified column filters. So it will give all the rows in customers table for customer ID, and this will help us in finding out sales by customer. So we can actually show these values because this is part 3, so these things are important for us. So this is sales by customer. Obviously this has been a problem, so first of all when we are creating these measures we will just mark them as this currency. So now it will be displayed like this. So this is sales by customer. After finding out sales by customer, so this basically ensures we calculate each customer's total sale without losing other filters. Then step 3 is rank customers by sales. Obviously, once we have found that, we will rank customers by sales, and for that, as the hint suggested us, we are going to use the rank X function, where we will select all customers and then we will select sales by customer to rank, and we will order by descending. So this will assign each customer some kind of rank. So we can use a new measure here, and this will be customer rank. So in rank X function, you select a table. In table, we are selecting customers table, but with all. It returns all rows in a table or all values in a column, and it will ignore any kind of filter if it is applied. So if any filter is applied, so this will give us all customers basically. And then the sales by customer that we calculated, this sales by customer obviously has found sales by customer sum here, but for every customer there will be some sales value. Then we are ordering it by descending. So this is order by. So in order by, we are writing descending, so that maximum customer with maximum sales will be given higher rank, and customers with minimum sale will be given lower rank. So this way it will be ordered. So this will give us customer rank. So here basically, if we select customer name, so in customers table, contact name is the customer name, and then once we have found rank X, so in measures table we have found customer rank. So you will be able to see now it is showing 1 1, so we will fix that later. So if you see here, when we are using this, so customer rank is showing same because it is showing same value for all customers, because we are not talking about context here. So because the sales by customer that we have calculated, we have just calculated the customer ID, and we are not using the selected value. So if you have to show in tables or somewhere, you have to show selected value, but here actually we have to answer it in a different way. Now we will find out cumulative sales percentage. So for cumulative sales percentage, we will first create a variable called total sales all. We will calculate total sales for all customers. Then cumulative sales will be calculate, where we are going to use sum X, and for where in sum X for values we will select customer ID, and then we will select sales by customer. In filter we will apply all customers, and we will say customer rank is greater than equal to maximum customer rank, or sorry, is less than equal to maximum customer rank. Then we will return that cumulative sales divided by total sales. So this will help us in finding out the cumulative sales percentage. And once you will calculate this, so your cumulative sales function will display. Here it is showing only except a column reference as the argument number. So we are having this max issue. So this is another measure that will work. Here the current rank is stored here. So let's try this one. It stores measure related in a variable. I will explain just a minute. So here what we are doing, here we are finding out calculate total sales, and current rank is equal to customer rank. So store measure result in a variable. Now we will compare it with it. So now we will be able to find the cumulative sales. So sum x will add all the values. So return the sum of expression evaluated for each row in a table, and that table is values. So unique values in customer ID, sales by customer. So it will now we will it will return cumulative sales and total sales. So if we write, this will give us the cumulative sales percentage, overall cumulative sales percentage, because it's a measure. So here instead of YOY we will write cumulative sales percentage, which is 0.09. So we can represent it as a percentage also. we'll click on it and call it as a percentage. So this is 9.11% cumulative sales percentage. Obviously here right now if we will show, it will show us the same value. So if you see here, so you can see it is showing the same value. We'll resolve that later. Now we have found sales by customer and cumulative sales percentage. Now we will create another measure called top 20% sale. So if cumulative sales percent is less than or equal to 0.2, so it will be under top 20%, otherwise it will be called as others. So here we will write and create new measure, and in that new measure we will create this top 20% flag. Obviously here if you will see, because it's a measure, here it is going to just show that value. So we will remove this value from here, because this is something that we will, it is showing top 20%, otherwise it will show others. So because its value is like that. So now let's check how can we display all of this. So now we have a problem that when we calculated sales by customer, as per different suggestions we found, like all except customers and customer ID, we were calculating that, so we were having a problem. So a simple fix I found, like, because we have to show total sales for each customer, so and total sales for each customer should be different, then ranking should be there. So now you can see total sales for each customer is different, and now if we actually rank them, so person with highest sales is Jose Parvati, and this particular person has highest sales value, that's why their rank is 1. Their cumulative sales percentage is 9.11 and they are among top 20. So whoever is less than this value, top 20 value, will be given top 20% flag, and others will be marked as others flag. So this is a simple fix. So all we need to do is just replace these values. So here this is the fix, and now we can actually use these tables. So I'm actually, because this is important and this is how we can actually answer the question, so that's why we can keep more area for this table, and that's how you can answer the questions. And these are top 20% values. So for example here it is given, so we can also go, and here we have cell elements where we have icons. We can actually enable the icons, and for icons it is asking what we have to find. So if we are saying sales by customer, so if sales by customer value is, and if let's say we have to show this value if rank, so we can also select the rank. So if customer rank, and here we will select the number. So if value is greater than 0 and less than 3, then this, and then other rule. So we will simply write else this or some other value, and if rank is greater than equal to 3 and number is less than equal to max, then this. You can divide it on different values, like if it is top 20 then show this, if it is others then show that. So we can show, and now you can see that all those customers who have this value are being shown with this value. So because we are applying it on customer name, so this will select the 20% customers on the basis of that 20% flag. So here we have that question, top 20% customers contributing to sales. So I have provided the DAX here along with this question as well. Next they are asking customer frequency, how many times a customer has ordered. So like here they are asking simply total number of orders by a customer. So a simple hint will be to use count rows over orders to see how many times they have ordered. So here we have order details. In order details we have order ID. In orders also we have order ID. So if we actually have to find total number of orders, so we can go there and we can simply select count of order ID. So this gives us an information. In total there are 270 orders and there are around 71 customers. So this 270 orders. Now we have to find, because in this table we already have the customer name, so we can actually bring more visuals here or bring more numbers here. So let's do this, and here we will simply select count of order ID. So here we will write count distinct, and this will give us information that on the basis of total number of customers, what is the count of order ID. For example, here it is showing that for this customer who has ordered, like sales is maximum value, count of order ID is 11. So this is also one thing we can do. We can also show this in a separate table. For example, here we can actually select customer name. So where we have the customer contact name, we can put it in x-axis, and then on y-axis we can simply put count of order ID. We don't have to actually create any measure, so we will select count of order ID here, and once we are doing this, we have to use count distinct. So now you can see, and this is on the basis of total sales. So we are not only seeing count of order ID, but we are also identifying those customers who have highest number of who have highest value of sales as well. Here we can do one more thing. We can say contact name is all. So instead of that, we can select top n, we can select top 5, and on the basis of total number of orders we can actually filter them. So we will select count distinct top 5 orders. So these are the top 5 customers with highest number of orders. You can change it to clustered bar chart to show their name properly. So this is also something we can do, and here we are going to general tab in title, top 5 customers by count of orders. This is the data. This is additional chart, but this will give us answer. So instead of top 5 you can use top 6, 7, etc. Here if you want you can disable this legend also. So this will give you indication, like this dark color represent high value of sales, but we have to show that, that is important. In legend you can actually change the position, like you can show it in center or any other position. That is something you can do from here as well, like top right, etc. So you can try and adjust its position as per your liking. Next it is asking us recency. So we have to show latest purchase date for each customer using the max order date function. So how can we do that? So now you can see I have added it in the table, last purchase date. It is simple. What is the maximum orders order date? And since we are already using it in a table, so we will be able to find that. I am simply going to do certain things, like I will rename for this visual. I will just write orders. So, and here it is last purchase date. So like for this customer last purchase date was 1598, for this customer it was 5598, and so on. So here you can see for every customer we are seeing their last purchase date. Now obviously this is very old data, you can see. But suppose it was in many of your cases when you are doing analysis, you have recent purchase dates. So if you have to find recency for RFM, like what is, how many days have passed since that customer purchased something from us, so we can use date difference, maximum order date today, and we have to give answer as date. So what is the total number of days, so we can also go there and new measure and recency in days. Obviously in this case this will be a very high value for every customer, but this can help you in finding out different type of you know in sorting of customers on the basis of number of days since they have ordered something. So you can also find it like this, recency of days. Remember one more thing, when you are ranking customers, so to rank customers there can be different ways of ranking. Like here we are ranking them by total sales by customer. We can also rank them by recency. We can also rank them by total number of orders. So it can be different criteria. Right now it is total sales. So as a practice you can try that as well in a different table. Next it is asking customer lifetime sales. So it is asking create a measure for total sales by customer, then segment high, medium or low. Something that we did without writing the measure, like if it is very high, show them with green color, otherwise with this red color. So now it is asking us to create this and show it per customer. So now you can see for three of them it is high, others it is medium, then it is low. So how have we done that? It is very easy. In customer segment we have used the switch function. In switch function we write an expression, obviously true. That means if this statement is true, that sales by customer is greater than 40,000, show high, you can see here. If it is greater than 20,000, show medium. So you can see here for all mediums it is more than 20,000, otherwise show low. So this will create this measure, and here you will be able to see that. So for all these customers it is low. So this is showing us sales by customer. So this is very important, and that's how you can actually do your analysis when you have to answer in a tabular way. So last question is churn indicator, that whether we have lost this customer. So on the for churn we are highlighting customer who haven't ordered in last 6 months. Obviously it will not work in our case because all our orders are very old orders, but still I will give you this answer, how to answer this. So we already saw how to find recency and last purchase date. So churn indicator can be easily set that if today minus last purchase date is greater than 180, that means approximately 6 months, we will say this customer is churned. Otherwise we will say active. In our case everyone will be churned, so I'm not adding this, but this way you can actually add the churn indicator. So this way you can actually solve these questions, and whatever DAX is required I have already placed it here, so you can copy from there, and then obviously we can show them in a different way. Like, because suppose we have customer segment, so when we created it as a measure, we added it in this table, then we were able to answer or segment them by different customers, right, which you saw. So here you can see, but if we actually do it as a calculated column, so here I have added a new column here. I have used the same formula. So here if sales by customer is more than 40,000 then high, if it is more than 20,000 then medium. So we can also say if it is greater than 30,000 then high, If it is greater than 15,000, then medium. So here we can apply some different logic. So, so you can also create a calculated column, and then we can actually answer them here also. For example, here we will remove everything. So actually I'm going to delete everything, and I am just going to add a simple donut chart, and this will give us how many customers are there per different type of orders. And what we can do is, now we can add this as legend, and in values we can find how many number of customers are there. So you can add customer ID, count of customer ID. So here it is showing count of customer ID by each customer segment. So now obviously we can change the title. So this is basically count of customers by segment, and in visuals we can actually change legend position to bottom center. So now we will be able to see these values. Next, we also have different things like cumulative sales percentage. So every customer belongs to a country. So we can also select some chart like a field map, and in the field map we can, first of all we will copy the styling. So we will format printer and apply here. So if we add customer country here, and as a legend, or here as a tooltip we will add. So here in tooltip we can add this top 20 flag, and then if you will see, you will be able to fill colors, and whatever value you want to choose. Let's say we want to see show by top 20% flag, because it's a text value. So if its value is top 20%, you can show it by some other color. If it is high, you can show it by some other color. So here what I'm going with, just for your reference, like if, and the value that I am going to select is customer segment. So is if customer segment is high, so then what color do you want to show? Let's say if it is high, we will show with a very dark purple color. New rule. If it is medium, that means if its value is medium, then let's show it by this color. I'm just giving you different examples. Show it by this color. And if it is low, then we will show it by, let's say, this color. So if you will click OK, you will be able to see that now it is showing. So here we can say customer segment by country also. So another way of doing this. So these are some optional things that you can do in your graph. So customer segment by country. Similarly, if you want to display it in a tabular way, or any other way, you can show as a table also. So this is part 3 of 5, where we try to answer different questions, and you can actually click here and you can increase value size a little bit, so that obviously values are properly read. Here you have column headers. For column headers we can have some kind of background, and then we can use some kind of text to show it like that. These optional things can be done. So try this from your end, and if you have any questions, suggestions, anything, you can share them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching this part. See you in another one.